Sorry, sometimes I get that knife in my hand and I just want to cut something. Today is a special day because we are releasing for the first time the Fire Turd shirts. And by first time, I mean only time. As y'all watched on the channel, we took Slick's Fire Turd from sitting to running to painted to now driving. So up first, we've got the angle view, limited edition. However, because one of you ain't good enough, boom, we got the side profile, also limited edition. That one's just got the PFS. Woo, that gold's looking good! Because the vehicle is gone, we are not doing another run of these on either one. Once these are gone, they are gone. We did stickers of these as well. However, the stickers are not in yet. These shirts are releasing today on Monday. The stickers are not arriving to us till Wednesday. So if you order stickers, expect just a couple extra, shipping delay dates or something on yours. We'll get your stickers to you. The stickers look like this. Puberty.
The stickers look like this. And this.
And we're releasing a special sticker. This sticker is to help our dear buddy old pal, Bill. Now, as many of y'all probably don't know, Bill has a project going on behind the scenes, and he's been working on this thing for years. So to help him finance it, we are releasing the Wild Bill sticker. The Wild Bill sticker. Also, a limited edition sticker that we're gonna sell for $5 a piece. I got 500 of them, and my hopes here is we sell them all out, and that $2,500 is going straight to Bill. It's just a thing to help get him some finances where he can order the rest of the parts he needs to get his vehicle on the road. If you wanna see his little project, you can head on over to the OK Speed and Custom. They did a walk around where Bill kind of talked about everything. On top of that, I'm gonna donate Bill $1,000. On top of that, Mortsky agreed to donate Bill $1,000. And on top of that, if y'all wanna donate towards old Wild Bill, you can do it through our website, through the PayPal donation or whatever, and just put on there Wild Bill. We'll know it's for him. After a week or so, we'll gather that all up. We'll tally this up. Guys, if we sell all the stickers, this and that, we're getting at least 4,500 buckaroos to Bill to help him finish up his ride. That's a big thank you to Bill for being part of this channel, even though y'all don't see him as much as you used to. He means a lot to us here. You guys mean a lot. It means a lot that y'all are here supporting the way you do. Thanks for the support on these. It keeps this whole thing going and growing. So puddins.fab.shop. We appreciate all the support, and I hope you guys like smoky burnouts, because we've got one coming right up. Welcome back to the Puddins Fabrication Shop. Hope y'all ready for some more mini truck content, because today we're tearing into our Toyota a little bit. Maybe. This Toyota features the quick release hood. Now that didn't come standard on these, all right? Pretty rare feature. It also comes with the battery that's never charged. That is a standard feature around here. And it comes standard with a massive oil leak that we need to find. Found it! Don't worry about that flat tire. That's not a flat, that's actually a built-in parking brake. That's what it is. Makes it super easy to steer as well, since we don't have power steering. And luckily, this little four-cylinder, guys, she's about the most powerful one we have, I do believe. This truck's gonna be a ripper. We're off to a good start, guys. Makes me happy. That's not bad for wheels, is it? No, I'm sure it's fine. Probably hardly does anything to it. Oh, jump pack out of here for we. I wonder if we can turn the idle down on this, or if that's a tune-up type issue. So if you have not seen this truck, we actually bought this off my buddy old pal Slick Fitty. It was his grandpa's truck, actually, and at some point the motor was no longer good. They rebuilt the motor. Shortly after that, at some point it lost a head gasket, and then Slick got into it, put a new head gasket on it, put the head back on, and then from that it never went back together. And then that's where we pick up. In the last video, you see us finish putting the intake on, sorting all this. We really had to do some dialing, tuning in on our throttle body here with these sensors and stuff on it. Learned some good stuff on this. We had to put a fuel pump in it, a couple other things to troubleshoot and figure out. And sure enough, oh, the distributor was a tooth off as well, I do believe. I think. In the end, we got it running and driving. As you just seen, it can sit for a month or two. You slap a jump pack on her, boom, she'll bust right off for us. This is gonna be a platform for another mini truck we plan on building. A little more of an old school Toyota. We're gonna combine the old one with this one. Now, obviously, the more we can get this one a complete functional truck with it in here, I think it's easier to fix all that stuff as this instead of let's combine them and then try to sort out that. I don't know if that made sense. Half of what I do don't make sense, so don't worry about it. Just take notes and follow along. Get your notepads out, kiddos. One of the things we had done was we ran the valves on this sucker because they were chattering a little bit. So I knew we had been into the valve cover. Well, then we got her going at the end of the video, and I had just enough time to do like a down and back, and as I pulled up here, this thing was just puking oil. I knew it was in bad shape. Who knows, she may not have any left in her. Yeah, she's got some. She could use a little. It's because we're spitting it out the back. So our 22RE here, it has this little plastic half moon circle rubber piece. I don't know why. Seems like it would have been pretty easy to just make that metal with a piece of the head, and you won't have to have a big old rubber chunk in there. Long story short, that's what I was just looking for. I was like, hell, I wonder if there's one of them on the back and one of these. And there's supposed to be one, but we ain't got one on the back. So there's our big old oil leak. Now, besides having an oil leak, I may have got some other goodies for it. Woo, hey there, good looking. And right over here, I got us a delete kit thingy-mabobber. Also got us some drop spindles for this rig, and we may have got a header. So all that vacuum we took the time to figure out and sort, it's out of here. So let me grab our parts, and we're just gonna start tearing into this thing. Woo-hoo! This thing's already fast. 9-second quarter-mile truck right out there. Wait till we put this eBay long tube on. Probably run a low 8. Easily. Come on! Let's look at some of the hardware real quick. Oh, fancy gold, shiny. We did go with the Beltec stuff. I don't remember if I found it on eBay or what. 2-inch drop spindles. Come with some drop blocks. Look like 3 inchers. Not so worried about that right now. We're more focused on this. I'm more worried about the mechanical aspect. eBay header, like I said, and then we've got some delete plates from Yoda 1. Look like some of the gaskets that come with the header also come with this. Not sure what all exactly we're getting into. I've never done one of these. And of course, guys, we could take some 1/4-inch steel and you could make these plates yourself. By the time you get gaskets and hardware and blah blah blah, ordering a little $40-50 kit that come with everything, I didn't think was too bad of a deal. Next, we're gonna glance inside because I know I seen one of them rubber moon things. This thing even had an extra valve cover kit at one point. Hopefully I didn't throw it out. Valve cover kit. Yep, you're not in there. Ooh, did we just get a hammer? Dang, that's a good one. You snooze, you lose, slick. Should have took that out of there. What? I guess I never looked. Jesus Christ is the answer. Amen. I guess I never looked in here. These right here are always good little kits. My grandpa had one of these in everything he owned. You need a spark plug? Don't worry, I got you. There's that 10mm everyone's been looking for. Look, someone done bent on it. This was for a very specific reason for this truck, guaranteed. Dang! That baby is see-through. We've got it open the wrong way. That is fancy. I don't think I've ever had one with the glass lid. Funnel, in case we need to shotgun some beers. Just playing those days are behind us. I'm gonna do that no more. Nice little file. Huh. We'll have to go through this good later on. Right now, we're just gonna shut her down. All right, when we find it, y'all will know what it is. You'll recognize it from the front. I know we've got to have one in here somewhere. None of that. Right there. It's one of them right there. Brand new one. Exactly what we were hoping to find. And like I remembered behind the seat, right there, brand new valve cover gasket kit. What do we got in there? Another one. Perfect. We're looking out and having that. We just put that valve cover gasket on there actually, so it should be reusable. But now we are ready to tear in to Betty's spaghetti. Now, I did not do a ton of research into what we should be pulling or not pulling or anything like that. My goal kind of is just to get rid as much of it as possible for obvious reasons. One, it looks awful. Two, you just got way more that can go wrong. Obviously more vacuum leaks that can occur. So my goal here, or what I'm gonna do, I don't know, it's a goal. We're just gonna start pulling. Whoop! Yeah! Whoop! Dang it. We actually bolted that sucker down. Yeah. Intake out the way. Yeah. Or we can pull a wrench in to play. Slide a magnet down in there. Those are metric. We do not want to be losing them as I drop the washer. Just loosening that, we just started leaking some coolant. So, get that popped up off there. I was looking for a washer and I was like, what the heck is dripping? Yep, it's coolant. Then I found our washer, pulled it off the magnet, and I lost it already because I got distracted by the coolant. So that's how today's gonna go, huh? It's all right. Found us another washer. Get that nut back on. Hopefully our coolant leak stops. Hopefully we didn't get too much into our intake as well. Is that all share? Yeah, I can't tell. Go away, Lake. Holster that bad boy. Oh, that's nice. This mount is slotted, so I didn't have to do all that, but here we are. Jeez, that thing's got some strength. Snap. Whoop. Now, some of this crap, I don't even know what it is. Like this thing, I don't know if we can, what's that even do? That's pulling vacuum to this. Something that, something. This thing that ain't mounted and flopping. Is it a reservoir? For what? Do we need it? Hope not. Let's see. These go down to that, which we could just plug, or we can just break them off. Perfect. Well, we're a little closer to getting our valve cover off anyhow. Lock and load. Here she comes. That one just popped right up out the front. There's RTV on that. Yeah, I'd imagine if those fit good, that shouldn't need RTV. The Bluetooth back one, that is non-existent, and you can also see maybe where our oil leak's coming from. It don't look like it had a bunch of RTV. That top end does look like it's oiling well, so that's good. Come on. Try to get our little mess cleaned up here. There we go. Little tune up on that. All right, clean her up, get all that oil off there. I Googled it, guys, and the factory manual, someone had uploaded some stuff. It does call for some sealant on them half moons. She wants some Hucky Puck, we'll give it to her. I think I got some red stuff over there. Where's my Toyota experts? How come we even have these? Why ain't that all metal? Don't make no sense in my head. Boink, boink, boink. She calls for a light layer of Hucky Puck. And that's what we'll give her. That thing sure wants to shove up out of there. I'm guessing that's going to rely on that valve cover shoving it down in there. So let's get that valve cover on. Cleaned up that seal from all the Hucky Puck oil. Those seals, we had some new ones in our one valve cover kit, so I replaced them. Now, these don't require a lot of torque, so we're going to be easy with them. In fact, they only require 52 inch-pounds. And I've got the torque wrench out because I don't want to keep having a dang oil leak from this, okay? Hey, Ma! Puddin's actually using torque wrenches. Yeah, I am. We're getting fancy. Hey, we actually got a rubber plug in the back. Bet that'll help. With our fancy new bling bling on that. These, we're just gonna slap a basic plug on. Yeah, we got a big one here. Still ain't figured out what this is. Not sure if we can delete that. It's gonna be doing nothing anyhow. Kill! Oh, well. Oh, that whole thing's a piece, huh? Okay, I see. Let's flip that back around. I thought that was a through bolt. It is not. Yeah. Nope, that whole thing just has its own set of pipe threads. Interesting. I went and looked through my little plumbing drawer. Voila. I don't know. Looks like it matches up to me. Are those just 1/8 inch threads? I don't know. I didn't know if with it being foreign if they would change it for some reason. We're gonna try putting it in there anyhow. Put a little Hucky on it. That ain't a little, that's a lot'll. Let's see here, is she gonna play nice? Seems to kind of be working. You know what they say, it'll work or it won't. I tightened her until I was comfortable. If that seals, that looks a lot better than that thing we just pulled off. Get on now, here. And our hose that was feeding that, we'll just plug. That's too big. It should be just right. Snug fit, how we like it. Now, if we were a little more prepared or gave a little bit more of a damn, we could pull our throttle body off here. And these, we could actually cut those and we could drill and tap that and we could put plugs in them. That would obviously clean that up. If we had our intake manifold off here, we could do the same thing. We could cut that, drill and tap it, plug it, whatever this is back here. We may have a plug for it. Let's see. Well, that sucker is in there. Luckily, I had one more of them little plugs. I barely used any sauce on that one, as you can tell. There ain't none on the plug because it's all over my hand. That's good. Now this is already looking a lot better. Our wiring here, we've got a lot coming out of our harness. We've got this for this little fuel injector, this for temp sensor of sorts. So we may just be able to tuck it underneath there, make it disappear. We may end up having to snip it later down the road because that's kind of a mess. Let's look at pulling off some of this actual stuff off the back. I don't know what we got to do to get all this out of here. We're gonna figure it out. Please reach, please reach. Reached one. Reached two. Let's try the extendo kiddo, cuz. That's 3. That's your sphincter valve. Whenever the truck has to take a poo-poo, comes through there. That right there is also known as the brown eye port for obvious reasons. She dirty. Hey Ma, Puddin' just blew on that brown eye. Step by step, day by day, the Toyota is looking better, baby. Toyota did so good in the 70s, 80s. Everyone did. And then they were just like, hey, we could cover these motors in a bunch of crap. Watch this. That worked out well for us. Why are there chunks in there? Are there supposed to be chunks in there? Has that already got a gasket? That's all one big gasket? Apparently so. All right, well that just freed that up. What is this down here though? What in tarnation is going on underneath here? Drop our mirror in for a little look-see underneath here. See a bolt there. Oh, 2-bolt flange. It looks like maybe. We're already missing a bolt. Or a nut, I mean, they're studs. Can't figure out what I need to get on there. Took a nut off something anyhow. Found another nut and pulled it. And now I've got a little shake out of this thing. So these are on those tubes that cross over. So it looks like the smaller ones go into the heater valve. Smaller ones heat the heater. The bigger one is our exhaust. It's very crucial information for the next step. Nobody wants to spend the time and unbolt that 2-bolt flange. Just slice that puppy. Whoop! All right, how are we doing over here now? Will this come out from underneath there? What's that even doing up underneath there? Oh, I've got it to slide off the mount. Yeah. Good thing I removed that hose clamp, so that would pull up out of there. Yeah. Now all this, our dang reserve tank here, scuba tank, was hooked to that. Whoop! You can see where we cut that. Those are the 2 mounting studs. That one was missing, that one was not. That was the one I took off by accident the first time. And other than that, it don't look like it was integrated into our manifold, so we don't got nothing to worry about sealing up underneath there or nothing. That should be it. Take that! I see a vacuum port right there. We're just gonna plug that. I'm not sure what it does. I know that needs vacuum. It ain't supplying vacuum, but that'll just help keep crap out of there. Dang, found some duct tape, huh? With that nonsense pulled off there, here's where our little delete plates come in. Maybe that's the right one. Yeah, that's gotta be it. They just didn't match their plate to the gasket. Whatever, if it seals, it seals. So this one just goes right here on the back, which is a lot better than a big old funky tube. Snug them down. Now here at Puddins Fab Shop, we're known for our high-end builds, okay? Like our Model A, and/or like this. Our legendary budget-friendly Toyota build. It's gonna be known worldwide. So that little gasket right there, that ain't gonna cut it. We're gonna have to trim that down. We ain't cutting crap. Oh yeah, we are. I was gonna say, dang, that's a good piece of gasket there. We ain't cutting diddly. And gasket said, Oh, that's metal. We're gonna need a sharper razor blade. All right, I should have left that the hell alone. High-end builds. Persistency is key, guys. I kept cutting down our gasket up here until I got it. Now down here, I'm trying to get our old gasket off here. It was ripped on the bottom, or we would have used it. Get that cleaned up where we can set our new gasket down. Nice and smooth. Show quality, baby. Yeah, probably best we replace that one. Now that came with 3 bolts, so that stud should come out of there. Bloop. Put 2 nuts on it, jam nut it. Boop. Now we're ready for our fancy little cover here. The kit fits nice. Torque them puppies by hand. What in the dirt dauber? Y'all see that dirt dauber down there? You see it, Theo? So you get all that big obnoxious crap out of your way and you see stuff like your dirt dauber city down in there. Now this thing is so much better, guys. Just all the space on crap we freed up around there. Hey, I can see a starter down there now. Couldn't do that before. Oh, I bet, from what I remember, there's a canister for our fuel filter. That thing right there. I bet we can almost get to it from underneath here now. Yep. Yeah, good luck doing that before. It wouldn't have happened. Now, before I forget, right here, y'all determine for me, this is the ground. People's like, no wonder why it won't ring. You don't have that ground hooked up, dummy. As I'm driving it around in the video. Who's the dummy now?
Who's the dummy now?
One tubby. Ha, ah, ah. That bolt seems to fit, so that's where we're gonna ground it. Oh, dang. All right, I need to tighten that up. That's a brace for our intake, it looks like. Stabilize this thing since it hangs way out there in Nantucketville. There we go. Need to clean this thing off is what we need to do. Hiya! Yep. Call me crazy, but I'm doing it. Our wiring right here. I disconnected our stuff where I could get us a little more slack pulled out. And these, I see no reason we can't just snip them. Snap, snap, snap. Take a little bit of our little fabric style cloth, tape, whatever. I'm gonna wrap this baby up. Now that looks a lot better. We can kind of shove that back to where it was. Pop our one on. Now we ain't got that dang wad of wiring we were having hanging out there. That looks good. Next, we're gonna look at our exhaust side, and you can see we got 2 studs there and a bolt there. Sorry, Chris. So if we were, what is gonna go there? I don't know. Don't worry about that. If we weren't putting this on there, that's where these come in to place, just to take up the space in between there. Those are just spacers. However, we're gonna swap on that unit, so let's start pulling it here. Pulled stud on that one. That one was loosey-goosey. That one wasn't necessarily tight itself. Yeah. Well, that bolt right there has our tube mounted to that, but we need to get the whole thing off there. Let's lift this thing up, take the exhaust off at the bottom. Interesting. I just had something click in my head, and it was that I had a whole nother set of these. Those came out of this package, which, as you can tell, that plastic's fairly old, pretty brittle, breaking, it's dirty. I was walking through the junkyard one day and found that on the ground. So that, what are you doing in there, huh? That had to have fallen out of the Toyota. At some point, they bought a delete kit for it and was going to delete it. What are you doing, silly boy? You got some energy now or what? We could almost use that for that, because we're gonna need to block that off. I guess it don't come with a block off for these. I got one down there and one right there. Underneath here, I see we got one right here, but I don't see any up that way, unless I'm overlooking her somewhere. Out with the old. The dinger's dinging. Let's see. I should probably just unhook them. Yeah. Oh, boy, that sucker's all there. Heat shield. Should we leave it? Should we take it? I think that's a gasket heat shield combo. Fancy. Got a little pro tip for you. When you cut through with your Sawzall and get that blade there, dang near glowing orange, and you hang that Sawzall by your side, make sure not to put that hot blade on the side of your leg. You'll feel it. Gasket on, or try to anyhow. And see how well this baby fits. There she went. Be careful, but I did have to bend that line a little bit, which is one of our heater hoses or coolant lines or whatever you want to call it. Had to bend it just a hair, and then that seems to fit that really nice. Real nice thick flange on there. Looks like we're clearing everything I can see. You know what? We gotta pull that pump off there before we put this on there, because it'd be a lot easier to get to some of that hardware. So once you verify it fits, just pull it right back out. Right here we've got a tensioner, zip tied up, trying to keep it out of our way. Then we got a pump right here that's no longer being used. So I'm gonna look at getting all this baloney out of here. I got our one bolt out, but it backed into something, so I can't get a ratchet out of there. I just kind of had a brain fart moment. I just seen this reservoir here, and I guess it ain't clicked in my head that this thing has power steering. That's the power steering pump underneath there that I'm pulling all this crap for. I was just thinking smog pump, not thinking about this thing having power steering, honestly. We want our power steering, why not? What gave it away? All the hydraulic hoses going to it? Now, in my defense, we had vacuum that come over to this thingy, so I just assumed that was something vacuum related. And I seen this coming up, and I didn't realize that was our coolant swooping from wherever it's swooping from. I thought that was some hose that was feeding some other crap. So me and Slick had scavenged for hardware last time putting all this together, and there's a couple bolts like these we had to put washers on for part of our exhaust. I'm thinking these probably originally went into this tensioner, just based off the size and the length. So I put our hardware all back in over there. This was missing one, put that in, get that one started. That'll really stabilize that. He said he thought something with this was throwing the belt off for the water pump, but it's not even in that. Only thing in with the water pump is the water pump itself, down to the crank, and then over to our alternator underneath there. So I don't know if this was loose and got into all that crap somehow, if this was loose and the belt came off and through that belt or what. But everything looks lined up really good. So as long as we tighten all this up, we should be able to throw us a belt on here and hopefully get our power steering back. Now our tensioner's actually in this bolt here. So if you run that in, that's a through bolt that just spins and is retained, and then the nut is actually on this, so that tensioner. So you can see as we tighten that, it just sucks it out. So I'll run that all the way in, and we need to get us a belt. I'll throw our header back on. I may get us some different bolts. Some of them studs don't have as many threads, so we're gonna have to use a bunch of washers and crap. Put a nut there and there. Got her snug down, not smoked, but it's tight. So let's look at our bottom side to see if we're gonna need anything for underneath there as well, because our list of needing stuff is starting to grow. Underneath here, that lands in a decent spot, but we've got trouble in paradise. Now that looks like it needs to jog over this way and back to here. And I don't know if they thought they built a thing that would actually reach, but it does not. If I try to line that up in a way where it may, boy, even, I don't know. This big old thick flange is right where our cross member is. So that 1000% ain't gonna work. In my head, this is going all the way back to here, because that would make sense. But it don't. we're gonna have to cut this off here no matter what. So let's cut it off there where we can see if we're gonna have to cut this bung off here too. Or why don't we just take it all the way up there to the header? Put it in that one flange up there. Probably a bad idea. That's just coming off of one tube, where down here it'll be off the whole exhaust. I don't know what I'm doing. How's my nose looking? Any boogies? All right, that's enough. That poor blade's in bad shape. Slice and dice, you're up. Boy, I guess maybe right there. You know, this exhaust flange is it's kind of ballooned or flared style, so it looks like we're just supposed to smash it on there. I like that they give you a nut with the little thingies to retain it, but then you're going against a big old flange that's just slotted to hell, so the chances of those biting into a lot of materials pretty slim. This is what buying the cheap stuff gets you. Honestly, I thought all that tubing was integrated into our factory manifold a lot more than it is. What is going on? Theo's either seeing something or someone's living up in our loft and I don't know it. Dude's freaking me out. It's the second time today he's just sprinted over here and up the stairs. I don't know what he's after, because he's never done this. What is it? What is it? Is there, what's up here? What is it? Interesting. You look over there and the head pops out. After I got done crapping myself, the fight would be on. I know it's up there, but you get it. I already know we're gonna have to rework that down pipe. I disconnected our O2 sensor. I'd put a couple bolts in this exhaust on our first go around with it. So now taking those bolts out, I'm gonna see if we can salvage this O2 sensor or not. Now we knew them bolts were gonna be toasty, or toasted, so we'll just cut them off there. See if that's even the correct shoot. They just wallered a hole out that don't even fit in. It's all right, because that ain't gonna work there anyhow. So if I pick up on that, or I'm happy with it, where we're clearing our torsion bar, where that is aiming is obviously not gonna work. We're trying to get into this notch right over here, sitting decently level. So I like it about like right there. So I'm gonna look up over here and see where I think we should add it. Gave me 2 spots to check. One could be right in there, which would work pretty good. The other could be up in there, which would also work good. Right in there it is. That blade ain't liking going through that weld, is it? Ow, ow. Oh, wow. Wow. That was a good one. That's gonna be swollen. That shoved my hand off there. And to stop my hand, we use that knuckle on that corner of the table. Oh my gosh. I think when that hit for a second, I had x-ray vision because I seen right through them damn walls. Wow. We're so close too. Oh man. Oh, that is gonna hurt so bad in the morning. Oh. That's why that wouldn't fit. It'll fit that. We ain't having to wait till the morning That sucker is sore already. I thought that broke through the skin. I thought I was about to see bad blood. Bet we can weld that up. I need that back. Dang, is that stainless? It might be a cheapo kit, but they use good material or what? Boy, we done wore that bit out in one go. But thank you for your sacrifice. That actually been able to fit in the hole's a plus. I'll be damned. But just so you know, this stainless is about to get MIG welded with mild wire. She'll be okay. Now we know why the Sawzall was struggling so much too. We're gonna pay attention to two things. One, make sure our hole's in the center where our O2 sensor can go in. And then two, I don't know that it matters, but I'm gonna turn this where our through bolts can come all the way through and hopefully not hit this. So I want the flange pretty straight like that. No, that made sense. Tack it, make sure our sensor can actually fit. It's a miracle. It's burning in real nice. Y'all think that sucker's hot or what? Don't put that against your leg, you'll know it. We did a good job hitting our hole. I'm gonna run our deburr tool in there just cause. Ow, ow. Don't hit your finger with that super scraper, you'll feel it. This thing will super scrape everything, including your skin. Where the bolts they set are long enough, that's for sure. I got a couple right here we're gonna try instead. Don't forget your gasket. Well, I sure hope we put that in the right spot. Underneath here, we picked a good spot. One, it clears. Second, wires wrap around and plugs right back into the factory location. We're centered up in there pretty decent. We're clearing our torsion bar by at least a finger gap. And then up in here, I got that snugged up and everything's clearing. She's gonna be a race truck with that fancy exhaust. That thing's guaranteed to whoop old Slick Fitty's love tap. That old love tap better pack a lunch, Slick. Hell, that old Firebird better pack a lunch, Slick. Bring it on. That Toyota will put a hurting on it, baby. What we got there, 2 1/4? Dang, it is a race truck. It's got a donkey flopper, watch out. Man, that is a glass pack and a half. Ain't gonna need baling wire no more. And I'm not quite sure what the actual plan with the exhaust is. We could go a muffler right here. We could straight pipe that to that hanger and then put a muffler right in here and go, I don't know. The idea with my budget-friendly mini truck here is to just be the B1, you just hop in and go, no matter where you're going. I want it to kind of become my all-time daily driver, guys. So that being said, I don't want to really hear this thing that much, and I don't care what exhaust you put on 4 cylinders, and I like little mini trucks and all this. They don't sound good, guys. You're not gonna make this thing sound like a pissed off bumblebee and impress nobody, I promise. You've got your damn straight pipe on your little 4 cylinder. You see some good looking women coming out of the Brahms. You just push that clutch in. When they look, they're not looking at you like, boy, I want to be in that truck with him, okay? So if y'all are doing that, quit. If you have a V6 that you put some mufflers on, you straight piped, and you said that V6 sounds like a V8. No, it does not. It sounds like a V6 that has straight pipes on it. All right, I'm done with exhaust rants, talks, whatever. Let me eyeball this a little closer. Looked in our old honey hole stash in the tool room in there. We got a Quiet Flow SS. Good size muffler to be able to sneak up into somewhere. I think we're gonna try coming straight back, and then we're gonna jog up, and then go flat, tuck the muffler up in here, and then as far as running it out, I'm not too worried about running it out underneath this truck. Once we get our body swap done, maybe we'll direct it some more or something. One thing though, it's gonna have to be the morning. I called my part supply, and we're not gonna have it till the morning. I also asked about our power steering pump belt, and that's gonna be the morning as well. So I'm happy with our progress. We didn't get an awful lot done, but we're headed in the right direction. Now my wife has been on me about a haircut, and since it's about 3 o'clock, I'm gonna just skedaddle on over to the barber shop, see if I can't get this taken care of. Dang, okay, good looking. Am I talking to me, or am I talking to the old Toyota with the white wall? I pulled that wheel off our 59 International, Mr. Mercer. She's a little big, but I was just kind of eyeballing some ideas. These tires are too big. These tires are too tight. Drop her down. I disconnected our little downpipe thing. What in the world? Apparently our white wall's falling off. Don't worry, I caught it. We're gonna pull our header and weld up that extra bung. Some people like them mobile slice and dices. I like them, but this ain't got the power, and the battery just runs out. You never run out of battery on your plug-in ones unless you don't pay your electric. Sheet metal hammer. Ooh, fancy. Dang, blend paint. It looks pretty good from here. We'll see how long that old engine paint will last, up to 500 degrees, allegedly. Dang, done showed you what we're gonna be using here, huh? Don't worry about these, okay? Don't worry about them rubber leg tips. Just act like you didn't see them. Now, I do plan on replacing our studs, so get your pipe wrench out. We're doing a little plumbing. Little Pot County plumbing, baby. All these ones came out pretty stinking easy, except the back one. Boom, 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 bang. That one's acting like it may want to break on me. It might not be the smoothest of turns, but I keep getting some out of it, so I'll see y'all in about 3 hours when I finally have this thing out of here. Just don't break on me, baby. Just don't break on me. Don't worry, I got her. We may have been best to leave that one in there. Yeah, but it's too late. I'd done grabbed it, boogered her up, so we had to get it out. Are you coming to inspect in here, huh? He's acting a little weird today. Can't tell what's going on with him. M10 by 1.25. That's our thread right there. Put a little cutting fluid on this, and we're gonna see if we can clean those up a little bit. Well, their tap ran all the way down in there just fine, so that gives us a little bit of hope anyhow. Unless it went so easy because there ain't nothing for it to actually cut through. That's a possibility. That's great. That one's acting like we have 0 threads for that to bite into down there. Dang it. Try a little bit longer bolt here. They didn't have enough of all the same size. These ones are a little longer. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll find some threads at the very back. Oh, it did act like it wanted to tighten up, so I'm not gonna push my luck on that. I'll fill it out by hand here in a second. All them studs out of there, and that looks a heck of a lot better than what was there. Put some lock washers on there. I'm gonna run these babies down by hand. Hopefully we get a good seal on this sucker. Oh yeah, that felt pretty snug. Ain't gonna push my luck. Ain't gonna do it, we'll take it. Come on. Dang, you fancy little race engine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our engine looks pretty decent. Everything's not super old, but them plug wires don't look like they'd ever got replaced in this whole situation. So I got us some. Seemed to be running good without them, but I just kind of figured since we were here, again, not trying to spend a lot. Is there someone living in here? Theo, attack! Y'all heard that noise, right? He keeps running up there. Earlier, he just started losing his mind a second ago. Hello! If you're trying to get squatters' rights around here, all you're gonna get's a sketcher up the ass. Get down from there. Hey, killer. Pull all this off here. Whoop! Let's go get them back out the garbage. I don't know what little spaghetti noodles they sent me here, but that ain't right. Them about the cutest little things I've ever have seen. Ain't gonna work on this rig though. Pop all them back on. That's what I get for trying to go above and beyond there. She's running good. She'll run good without them being replaced too. This thing has so many clips for everything. Clip, 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 clip. Little clip to hold your wires. Clip here, clip there, clip everywhere. Now as we continue to delete, our intake here will run over. Now if you're wondering why I didn't do a cold air intake, we would have to get, I'm sure they make them, some type of adapters to work with this sensor. And I started to tear into this, and let me show you what I found here. I was like, oh, that's a really nice air cleaner. Someone had just recently replaced. What the hell? She's full of mouse house. We've been running it too. Wouldn't have guessed that's what we were gonna find in there. So if you actually had a cold air intake, unless you do something, in my theory, this is, or in my opinion, this is gonna work better anyhow. Because up here you're actually getting air from up front, running it through and over. If you take all this crap off and just set a air filter right in here for cold air, and all you're doing is sucking this hot engine bay air, you're gonna have the opposite effect. You just installed a hot air intake. I think in this situation, the best thing we could do is get a good like K&N air filter, something that can just flow more air through this factory box, and leave that baby routed to the front, guys. So that sits there. We've got this extra tube here that now hooks up to nothing on this side, and I was just kind of looking. It looks like we can take apart this, whatever this is, and we can pop out this tube hopefully and not break this. There we go. The pile grows. Then when that's on there, that hose would come hook up over here on the box, and I already pulled that rubber hose off. And this is where our little table legs come in. That's right. You can get a hose plug thingy from like the O'Reilly's and stuff. But when I was in the hardware store getting them specialty metric bolts, I just thought about, what if one of them went on there? Don't look bad to me. She's a little loosey-goosey. Don't worry, I got more hucky puck. Hey Ma, Puddin's putting silicone on table leg nubbies. Pack of these is like $4. Go buy the actual ones that are for doing stuff like this. See how much those cost you. That was looking good until I added all that hooky puck. Maybe if I just keep spinning that gravity, we'll make some of that fall down or something. Blasted that with a little brake clean, and that seemed to do the trick. Our belt came in, slid it on around our fan there, our shroud. It's broke, and then every time I mess with it, it just keeps breaking more. We're gonna end up having to get a new one of them, but our belt seems like it's gonna fit. I guess we just tighten that up. Seems pretty good right in there. I guess that's just holds itself, huh? That's what we're gonna try. Yeah. Pop our intake back on. Underneath here, we're gonna remove our hangers, factory hangers. We could have used it, but that thing hangs below the frame. We want to tuck everything up as high as possible. We may use that one there. We'll see what happens. So we're gonna run from there back here. I want to kick that up pretty close to that. It's about right in there. So about 26 inches long to start. This ain't gonna be a perfect fit right here. On this, we're gonna have to create a little bit of an angle by taking some of this off to kind of kick this back this way where I need it. Right there's pretty stinking close to what I was after. Good fit up over here. A little bit of a gap on that to kind of pick this up where I want it. That's okay. She'll weld. Next. Oh, that end's good right there. We'll look at doing our kick up. So by the time we add 145, then if we were to slip on another, is that gonna be too high? She's a pretty short muffler, but I don't know that's gonna fit. I do like the height that kicks up. As far as I'm concerned, the higher the better. Since we're gonna lower this thing, this hanger's in the way for now. Yeah, we're gonna do some trimming down on some stuff. Take a little bit off this pipe. Well, as you can see, there's been a change of plans. I just thought about something. We're gonna get this all exactly how we want it, and we may be having to change the wheelbase on this chassis a little bit. So that being said, I still want to see how this thing will sound with this muffler, but before we build this elaborate thing that tucks to all this, and then we got to change it in the future, I think we're better off right now just putting the muffler right here. Got a little bit of a heat shield. We can just run it right there at the back. I'm fine with that. I just want it quiet so we can hear the engine running. Kind of happy I thought about that though, because we would have done all that, and then eventually we may have been cutting it all up, and I've been going, what the hell? Kind of like y'all's thinking right now, what the hell? The muffler may be able to stay there. It is gonna hang down some, so maybe not. But if it does, it'll actually help us, since that inlet's over here and then kicks out over here. Now we don't got to do that crazy angled piece, so we'll just play her by ear over time. I think right there will work. I hope it'll work, because I just locked it in. We'll take one of our universal hangers. That works really good right there. We can go back to that factory hole. We're pretty close. Lock in as much of that as we can. Our hanger, I'm just gonna give it that little bit of weld since we probably will have to change it. It looks all right. We need to drop her down and finish welding her out. Buttoned it up back into place. It ain't the greatest thing since sliced bread. That looks real nasty. I was blowing that out there. However, it's gonna work for now, guys. That is temporary. I think I have everything buttoned up on top. Now we got everything buttoned up on the bottom. I think it's time to see if this thing's gonna start back up for us. Come on, baby, be good to me. Safe to say she runs. Seems to be running pretty good. It's also safe to say it's got a major exhaust leak. In all my not paying attention to this, I did not realize that this whatever exhaust manifold header would need these as well, because those right there, and there are big old exhaust leaks. I fired her up. It's like, damn, she sure is loud for having a muffler called the quiet flow. Pulled her bolts. Yeah, that one kit I'd found, it has the aluminum block-off plates, so we're gonna run them. Out of these 4 bolts, 2 of them were the longer ones, and those are the right length we need. The only problem is, I don't know how many. Maybe we can flip-flop them till we find 2 more for that one. There's a longin. Sweet, found another one. Today may be my lucky day yet. The header had come with these 2 bolts, which I'm assuming goes down in that middle block-off plate. I'd got 2 extra metric washers, which looks like it may work out for us. Oh yeah, she fits. We'll figure it out here eventually, you know. Hell, I'm doing all right, guys. There ain't no instructions with this stuff. I've just been winging it and dinging it out here. Buttoned up our other side. Let's see if it's any better. Hey, that's a little better. Still a little louder than what I would want, but we can hear the engine pretty good. She's idled down pretty good. We like that. That almost sounds metal on metal-ish. We'll let her run a little bit, sit here, warm up. Oh, we got another leak right there in the middle. What the hell, over? That's what was sounding like that nice high-pitched exhaust leak. That's coming right out the damn center. Does that hold another bolt? Oh, I see. So our factory one, that center's covered right there by that. And this stuff obviously nothing came for that. So I guess we get to figure that one out. And I'll let that fit. I'll bolt you right over it. I'm gonna put both my gloves on because of the last time I welded on an engine. As long as we didn't have no slag go in our exhaust, hopefully we'll be good there. That's what we want, is some slag to get down there and work its way to one of our exhaust valves or something. That'll be good for it. Just pretend like you don't see that big old booger right there. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we've got another exhaust leak somewhere or what. Yeah. We got a little out the back. I can feel it with my hand. That's our old messed up thread down there. All right. Well, she's still leaking right there. Oh yeah, we should have power steering now. Whoa, fancy. Golly. This is gonna be the fastest 4-cylinder truck we have. The Love Tap, the Yeehaw, the Datsun King, ain't none of them gonna stand a chance against this thing. Woo-hoo! I'm gonna let all that burn off some. I'm gonna check and see if we're charging or not. Well, we must be charging some because we pulled that off there and it's still running. Oh, that wire's nice and hot. 14.6 volts, so we're definitely charging. We almost need a return spring on that. Maybe not, it went back. All right, guys, I know we've got a little bit of exhaust leak. Not sure if it's because we can't really tighten down that one bolt, or I'm scared to really give it the heave-ho, or because we already put this cheap old header on here we've had to modify 4 times, you know. But all in all, to have all of that off there, and listen to how this thing's running right now. I don't know if you heard it before, but she is revving all over the place. High idle. Looked like a wild mess. Looks pretty good now. Now on a major plus side, we're not just pissing a quart of oil every minute underneath the truck. At least we did something right. We're sealed up good underneath here, guys. And what's crazy is you can hear that exhaust leak like flowing through the exhaust almost. So it's gotta just be up there. That's our problem. Well, crap. I tried. I should have left our dang factory studs alone, is what I should have done. It's leaking. Now the front's leaking. I'm scared to give them any more torque. Swapped our gasket out back to the one we took out of there with that little heat shield. Hoping maybe we'd get lucky. Just ain't gonna happen. Tried swapping some bolts and stuff. That one on the back, it ain't gonna tighten up. So I ordered a helicoil kit for it. Next up, I'm gonna get us some battery cable ends that'll actually stay on. These things aren't the greatest, but these don't tighten up one bit, so. Well, that's a real long ground right there, ain't it? What is the deal, Lucille? Even this thing don't want to tighten down on here. That's enough, Toyota, you hear me? All this stuff I'm trying to do to you, trying to help you out here. You gonna fight me? You gonna strip off your new fancy manifold? You don't want a battery in you? You want to be jump-started your whole life? You want to be made fun of? Everyone's going to be like, oh, that guy on YouTube can't even get it running. They don't want a battery. Get it together. Oh, Theo, get me some gasoline and a match, please. I don't think we're supposed to have to work that hard to connect the thing battery post, guys. I just don't. And that thing smoked Alabama. I can just pull it right up off there. Now, luckily, I'm a battery clamp connoisseur, and I went through my inventory, found one that fit a little better, so we got her buttoned up. I got these things in a few different flavors. Most of them are sold as a universal, works for your positive and your negative. These ones only work for a positive, and that I am positive. Got some nice corrosion going on in there. We're gonna keep an eye on this. Like I said, this wire right here, it's getting a little toasty. Oh, in fact, it kind of looks bad up in there. That goes over and feeds this whole little fuse box setup. We may need to look into this. Be ashamed to do all this work, get a nice exhaust leak for this truck, and then burn it to the ground. I'm gonna burn this mother effer down. What do we got going on here, Toyota? Is this the fusible link that's supposed to fail? Because as hot as it's getting, it's headed there. Toyota put damn bubble gum on it. That's crimped in there. That big old wire down to that. No wonder why that sucker's hot. Well, now that we've ruined the protective coating and wrapping on it, I guess we'll just say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm just gonna bolt our eyelets on through there. We'll take the actual clamp off. And I'm gonna wrap that up with some tape, but really I want that exposed where I can kind of keep an eye on it. Monitor it. Function check. It's time for a function check. Since we've got a battery in her, we can try swapping or powering on some stuff. Theodore Rascal Warner, would you like to come inside? Or are you, sir, enjoying the sun? Well, don't look too excited to see me. You are a napping machine. Sweet boy. Staying or going? All right, you ain't got to come in. All right, so a couple things I've noticed work. One, we do have a dome light. Off, door, but on don't work. Oh, just playing. Tap it just right, it'll work. Another thing that works is your door open buzzer and your neutral safety switch. She ain't gonna crank without that baby in. Now right there, I notice our fuel gauge is coming up, so I know that's been working. The little bit we had this running, I have not. Is it moving? Yeah, I don't think I've seen our temperature gauge move one bit yet. Knowing this truck has a history of overheating, which is why we got the high-speed aluminum radiator and had a head gasket job and all that done, we want our temperature gauge working. Now, upon my little research, I seen some sensors down in here with connectors. One's a coolant temp blah 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 for your computer, keep it happy. I think another one is a coolant temp blah 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 that has something to do with this thing, your fuel injection, whatever. Then the one that's actually for your gauge is this bad girl right here. Now we know our cluster has power because our fuel gauge is working. Now that don't mean we couldn't have a problem in there still, but it makes me want to come out here and do some investigating. First, we're going to take our meter and we're going to check for continuity. I'm going to go from the motor down to our prong, and we're reading some there, so we should be reading something. Let's try this. We're going to take a little jumper wire. I'm going to shove that in there. We're gonna take that to ground, and I believe that should peg out our gauge. Okay, see, we're moving. So one or two things, we are reading some continuity, so I don't think our sensor's bad. So it's probably one of two things. One, we've never got it warm enough for it to actually read something, and if it did, I just wasn't paying attention at that point. Or two, this thing was crusty. There's a decent chance that we were losing our connection in here because that thing was a little corroded looking. And I have a feeling if we get that baby warmed up that we're gonna see our gauge move now. And if not, we'll look into her a little more. Left blinker? You dang right. Yes, sir. Right blinker. Hubba hubba. We like that. Shoot, I'm about to put some tires on this rig and just drive it. Boom. We got hazards too. I ain't got a lot of vehicles with them. Headlights? I see something up there flashing. Oh, brights. That indicated. Running light. Looks like we got a bulb out here. Running light, headlight, running light. You're dang right, she's got the brights. Oh, I can see them changing. We do have dash lights. Also, maybe y'all can see me fading her in and out there. Woo! I see. How's our blower work? She's chugging. Oh, coming through a little floor vent right on the crotch area. Just to be direct, to be frank, I can feel it on my frank. Oh, that'll be all right. We get some cold air coming out of right there. You won't hear no complaints out of me. Well, that's working. We got her on recirculate. We've got her on cold. We've got an AC button. We're gonna have to fire this rig up, see if we can get some air conditioning out of it. How's that? Earlier, I ran our wheels and tires here by the tire shop, swapped on some smaller tires for the front. That's right, she's a hot rod. She's getting the bigs and littles. These were the tires I took off the Torola. They're just what I had, used 14-inch tire, just so we could drive it and not be on the flat. These wheels suck. These wheels are ugly. These wheels, I wouldn't even run on a damn trailer hauling a pile of poop. And these tires are not much better, all right? But it's what we had, it's what we could swap and not spend money. Drag pack, baby. She's ready for the damned old drag strip. Now we are just lucky enough on this rig that she's a 93, which I do believe means she is right there. She's a R12 system and we don't have the stuff for R12. Well, let's just fire her up, drive it. It'll be the first time I've driven this truck without a flat tire and without the oil flowing out the back. Let's just kind of see maybe if we can get her going. Maybe she's got air conditioning. Maybe it's our lucky day. Ain't no chance. Ain't nobody that damn lucky have air conditioning in a rig like this. Fire it up, let them horses sing. Come on, baby. Oh! Blower on. AC engage. I have not heard any compressor kick on. It's blowing cold air, but just because the shop's cold. Whoa! Also, first time driving with power steering. Hey, Mama's home. Just out of curiosity, what happened if we were to rev this up and dump the clutch? Woo! Oh my goodness, guys! That is not what I was prepared for. I knew this thing like runs good. That thing just got squirrely. The ass end on this truck started kicking sideways before we ever even got off that concrete. That was legit. legit impressive. A little hot rod 4-cylinder, baby. Oh yes, it did. Don't tell me this thing has posi track. Don't tell me this thing has posi track. Don't tell me. Y'all see them tire marks? Y'all thought I was playing. She was getting squirrely. Don't look like our temp gauges came up yet. AC still ain't done diddly. Wiggle our connection. Gauge still ain't moved. Looks like we're cooking our paint right off that header there. Thermostat's definitely open because she's warm, so we should be reading the temperature. Let me go get our meter now. It still just sounds like it's got a little like tick, tick, tick to it, and I'm just hoping that is indeed the exhaust. So interesting here. Hopefully y'all can see. I'm going off our ground post with one probe to our head with the other. Reading good continuity. Now I'm going to the body of that sensor. Now we've got good continuity. Now if I go to there on our sensor, we're getting 105. So that's changed. The sensor's definitely changing from what it was earlier, I do believe. We know grounding it earlier that our gauge started to go, unless when I checked it earlier, I didn't check it from something that had a good ground. I don't know. I don't think she's running too hot. Want to see it do a burnout? I knew it wasn't posi. I guess just leaving, it was taking turns of skirting them a minute ago. She seems to be running good. Definitely a little powerhouse compared to the 4-cylinders we're used to. Steering, happy. Stopping, superb. Just sounds chattery. Now I've already adjusted on that valve lash a couple times, and I can't get them any more in spec than what they are. So I just want to listen with our screwdriver. It's a good way to listen inside your motor, see if you can hear some ticking or not. To me, everything underneath that valve cover sounds about the same. Whether I'm at 1, 2, 3, or 4, everything sounds about the same. It still sounds like to me the tick's coming from the back of the motor where we know we have an exhaust leak. So I think that's what I'm hearing, and I'm hoping I'm just overthinking that whole situation. Well, we definitely have a ripper, folks. Also, our temperature gauge started coming up some. So our cinder probably is bad because she's pretty warm. I promise you that. Touch that radiator there. She's pretty spicy. I don't think we're overheating, but before we run it too much more, I would like to get some type of gauge that's working better than that one. We do not want to be overheating this sucker. So I'll see about ordering us a cinder. We'll try replacing it. And I've never converted anything from R12. I don't have the stuff to service R12. I'm probably gonna holler at Uncle Rick because I guarantee he knows all about it. And I'm gonna try to get a little lesson on what we should be looking into for our AC stuff. Much other than that, I know it seemed like we didn't get a lot done today, but the way we were just ripping around on that thing, pretty stinking happy. Yep, that's a good battery. This morning, we are gonna tear into our, oh, that's good, our spindle setup here. I already knocked out this side. Everything seemed to go pretty smooth. Yeah! So now I can show you this side. Step 1, you want to start with busting some knuckles. So we're going to reach that down in there on our bracket. Then we're going to give it the extendo wrench leverage bar where we can slip and bust a knuckle. Oh yeah. Just getting that initial torque broke. Got your one bolt up here. You gotta be careful on that bottom one. I use this little ratchet and doohickey and I backed it out and it didn't come out quite far enough. And then this got trapped on there. It was a whole situation. I'm not replacing any parts other than the spindle, meaning we're not doing maintenance as far as getting into our brakes, ball joints, bearings, or anything like that. And this truck, I don't know how many miles it has, but I ain't gonna lie, it looks like it could use a little bit of that stuff, okay? So that's something we'll probably do in the future because we need to order seals to be able to clean all that crap up real good, clean up our back bearings, blah, blah, blah. We would need to get, probably won't hurt to put a set of rotors on this thing. The brake pads on that side were a little worn down, so I imagine this side is as well. And I can get a little bit of rubber off them hoses. So I think we'll be good for a little bit, but next time, or at some point, we're gonna have to do some brakes. And when we do that, we'll probably just do everything. Set your caliper out the way. Oh, get your bolt. We're doing good. Woo! Now, as you can see, that grease, yeah, she does not look good. Kind of expected it to look better, but then again, this truck, I want to say it has over 200,000 miles on it. Maybe like 260. It's up there. So I guess seeing some nasty looking grease may not be the biggest surprise. Ugh. Drop that bearing. Look at that nasty crap. All right, so seeing that, the bearings don't look pitted up or nothing though. Stuff's just dirty. Almost like maybe the seal is bad on the back side and let some dirt in, except it ain't making a mess out the back. I don't know. It could just definitely look better. I mean, that is almost like there's water in there too. I don't know. Don't worry about it. Now here's the lesson I learned on that side. When I went to pull our dust shield, I was like, oh, we got 2 through bolts. Ow, dang. Found that with the corner of my head. It's there, that hold on our steering arm. So I just disconnected them, leaving them hanging. Don't do that. The new spindle comes with its own steering arm, so you need to disconnect that. So then I had to disconnect it with that one flopping around on that side. It was not fun. Another thing I learned is these cotter pins don't play no games. Usually I can straighten them out like that, and then you can tap them with your pliers some and get it to start to come out. Not these things. Dang it. See what I mean? I can hit those straight on, and it just bends them down. So if I can't get them to hammer out, I've been taking that and just cutting the head on it. Then we can take our side cutters and grab that piece from the back and kind of use our leverage and pull it through. We're reusing both ball joints and our tie rod, so we're gonna try to clean them up as much as possible with our wire wheel, little looby dooby. I'm beating the devil out of our arm, okay? Don't be beating on the actual tie rod. Whoop it like it owes you money. See that? Knocked it loose. Then I'm cleaning it off with a little brake clean. Then I'm re-lubing it, and then we'll be ready to go back together. Everything looks worn, but if you actually wiggle and shake on all this stuff, nothing's like worn out to the point that it's wiggly or flopping or knocking, anything like that. These 2 cotter pins are about the easiest ones to get out. That steering arm you don't need. Dust shield now comes off. And we are to the point of only having our ball joints holding us, which we will gladly get as long as we can get these pesky cotter pins. Hey, that one actually came out a little bit. Curl that one right out. You'll see that? How much dirt and grime's in there? That's what most of the problem is with these. That one's moving too. So this side only had one real stuck one. The driver's side, every one of them was stuck. It's crazy how much crap was packed in there though. Those are still hard to pull out compared to most cotter pins I've dealt with. Mine, this ain't even that old, guys. Think about it. We work on crap that's old. This one's really fought me. Clean our threads. Jenner's helping a Libby Dibby. This truck's a 92, by the way. I was ordering parts for a 93, and come to find out, 92 and 93 is different. That's why we got the funky plug wires. I found that out trying to, hold on, going up. I found that out trying to find the temperature sender. None of them was matching this one. So I found the title for this truck and it's a 92, so I changed from 93 to 92, and hey, there's the plug wires and the temperature sensor we need. Turns out, it's easier to find parts when you use the correct year. It's weird. All right, as you can see, we are using this little jack lift thingy, and I'm putting weight underneath, or picking up underneath our lower control arm, which is where our torsion bar goes into. So this has your spring tension, your upper does not. Now let's see if we can pop these babies loose. Let's see, lefty. So that's gonna spin like that. Now speaking of parts, I did order us a OEM exhaust stud kit for this thing, and a OEM exhaust manifold gasket as well. Yeah. Release that tension. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Well, our nuts loosened. I'm gonna beat on our spindle until that pops and drops. Like that right there. Boom, baby. And with those loose, we pick up on it and it's ready to come apart. Just remember to grab that right on that greasy spindle. Next up, we're cleaning. Anything to keep them threads happy. Anything for you, baby. Now over here, this thing is plumb packed with grease if it's anything like the other side, and not the greatest looking stuff. This is where our budget-friendly maintenance comes in right now. You could have something like this and drive it for years, never have a problem, and never know. Said we'll have to get back in here at some point to do brakes. When we do that, we'll really look at replacing all this. For now, I'm gonna pull as much of this crap out of here as I can. We're gonna go back with some fresh stuff in there, hoping it'll help our back bearing, which it won't, but we can hope. Ooh, this stuff's actually a little cleaner than that other side was. And then our bearing, we're gonna repack it, this outside one, because it's nice and filthy. And then it'll work until we get in there again. Getting there real nice and deep like. Gotta use that middle finger, it's the longest. All right, I'm telling you, this is better than that other side, and this one, See, in that glob, that glob, that glob, you can still see a little bit of color to that. But you see like this right here, that's what majority of it looked like in that other one. Dang it! Oh, fancy. You get the new can. We're gonna take a dollop, plop her down in there. Just a hair more. I got as much off that old bearing as I could. Now obviously that ain't gonna help us actually press grease into it, but I am gonna run a bunch of that new stuff back here, hoping it'll find its way into there. Now, as far as our bearing up front, we can actually press it. Just drop that down in there. Take that questionable looking lubricated tool, screw it on there, and then heave ho. Come on, baby. You can do it. See how it shoves all that old stuff up out of there? Get that old hucky puck out. Oh yeah, that was dirty, wasn't it? There we go. Now we're getting some cleaner stuff out of it. And now you can sleep good at night knowing that that's out of your one bearing, but not the other. Back over here, let's appreciate this well lubricated, oil soaked to protect it from corrosion spindle. Pretty nice spindle, probably the nicest one I've ever installed. It actually being a name brand Beltec spindle. Not that I've had too many problems with the off-brand ones I usually install. Now our nuts, you want some clean nuts, guys. Ain't nothing gonna mess you up worse in life than having some dirty nuts. You think you're gonna get all this together and then your dirty nuts get you in a jam. You don't want to booger up your threads and mess up your ball joint from not cleaning your nuts. Now cleaning up the outside of your nuts is gonna make it where you can handle them better. Everything you want to slip on and off your nut will go on and off smoother, which is a plus. But really, a good clean nut starts at the inside and works its way out. So we want to clean all that stuff off your inside threads. That way, this nut is nice and clean. And with that being said, lubricate it, and now you're ready to go on with the rest of your day. See how smooth that is? That is a happy nut. And one thing I did notice about this spindle is that bottom nut, we can't, I'm not doing the nut talk anymore, so don't think that's what I'm doing, sorry. The bottom nut, you can't get like a socket on or anything, so you gotta use an open end wrench. Maybe the top too. There just ain't enough clearance between the spindle and the nut on that side over there, so box end wrench it is. There we go. Now, you know what they say, fresh cotter pinning's a winning, so get you a fresh cotter pin. It was wedged on our sway bar end link. Tie rod, of course, zips right on. She's looking pretty good, ain't she? Oh yeah, there's the giveaway. See that Oklahoma red dirt? Add that with some grease. So it looks like those seals probably leaked enough until the grease that leaked out kind of created another seal right in there. That stuff is packed. Half dirt on the bottom side, grease on the top side. Kind of like Mother Nature's own wheel seal for us. Gotta protect them bearings. Thanks, Mother Nature. So you definitely want to scrape that all out of there. That way it lets new dirt in. That way we can contaminate the new grease we put in there as well. So if you're going to do these, you'll need a couple bolts for down here. These are drilled and tapped on the new spindle for the same thread as here. Next, we're gonna polish the shaft real quick. And then she gets our rotor. Already got our spindle on there. Of course the spindle's on there. What else would we put the rotor on? Already got our bearing in there. How's that? And the rest of our hardware, because it is plumb filthy, as you can see. Yeah, clean her up too. Now these things felt over torqued, in my opinion. A lot of times you can get them off by finger because, you know, they've had some miles on them, so they're actually a little loose. These ones, I had to use the crescent wrench to actually get them loose. Not like they were just plumb smoked, but they were snug. I realized on that other side, once you run that down, if you'll rotate it a few times, you can get a little more on it. What's making that noise? Oh, it's debris in the backside. Probably some grass or something. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your butt out of there. Much better. All right, guys, that pretty well wraps us up. So all we gotta do now is put this on here, slap one cotter pin in, and get the rest of the all dirty grease out the cap. Tap it on. Oh, we probably want to put a caliper back on too. May have sort of forgot about that. Now we're gonna give these the 100 PSI rebuild as well. Pretty sure we just evicted 2 mice, damn 4 spiders out of that one condo here. The Caliper condo. Y'all see that brake pad? She's I don't know, she's got a little life in her, like I said, so we'll be good. I don't know why I just wiggled in there like I was gonna fit my head in there and this. Now these rotors got a lip on them down there, and that's 100% what we're catching on. Just tap it till you get past that and just tear it up a little bit. Be fine. Yeah. All right. We are back how we started, except we should be sitting roughly 2 inches lower. Drop spindles, guys, if you don't know, a great way to lower your vehicle. We didn't change our spring, we didn't change our shock. We probably should replace the shock. But what I meant is we didn't have to put like a smaller one in there. All a drop spindle does is bolt into the factory location like y'all just witnessed. And instead of the spindle being way down here, it's actually up 2 inches. Well, if you have a 2-inch drop spindle. So now that wheel's up 2 inches. You get 2 inches of clean drop with no real sacrifices to your ride quality. It's perfect. Now, when we go to hacking up this little truck, I'm hoping we can do the rest of the lower end. We are gonna put blocks in the back, but I want it to look lower than 2 inches low when we swap the other body onto here. And I'm hoping we can channel it some where it looks absolutely slammed, but still rides good. But these U-bolts that are crusty with all that dirt and everything, I wire weld them, I doobied them, they'll still fight you. Yes! I didn't think that one was gonna come off there. Kept having to tighten it up, loosen it back off. Now y'all seen us do lowering blocks several times now, so we're gonna try to zoom through bleep. That's all, folks. We're trying to zoom through them. We're already running behind, had to go to the doctor. They took about 17 quarts of blood from me. I had an 8, so I got to feeling real good. Hey Doc, I'm seeing stars over here. Whoa, don't pop me in the face, please. You son of a biscuit. Well, that wasn't recording. I picked up on that with these. It's got these little rubber isolator pads. First mini truck I've ever had with them. I guess we could put them back in there. Technically, that will make it sit lower. About 3/8 of an inch. We'll take it. So as you can see, that just goes straight up. Put your block in there, nothing special. We're gonna pick up on our spring just so we can swing this under, because we haven't disconnected our shock. Right there's pretty good. Should be able to get our U-bolt started. I said, first time using BuildTech stuff. It wasn't super expensive neither. And guys, it fits good. Usually with your cheapo kit, you get just the longest, biggest U-bolts they make that could fit possibly everything. You may have to pry them, shove them, bend them. This crap fits nice. I'm actually really impressed. And boy, y'all don't know what I would have done for a BuildTech sticker for the back of my ride when I was in high school. Well, to have that sticker and actually have BuildTech parts on my vehicle. Now on these, you wanna, I just ran those till we're flush at the bottom, and you wanna check your U-bolts for being straight up and down. Sometimes I'll see them, they're pulled over at an angle like that, and you get it tightened down, but you get the right bumping over time. If that thing straightens up, it's gonna be loose. So you wanna make sure you're facing pretty straight up and down. And then tighten them suckers down. And I try to keep our threads matching all the way around. You don't want to just smoke a side, then do the other side. Make sure to hop around, get them pretty even. That should be it. Driver side looking good. Passenger side looking G-U-D. Looking good. Rusted out bumper, not looking so good. Rust flakes, get your rust flakes. Now let's sit her down. And with these wheels, I'm not a big fan of red. I'm not a fan of the tiny tires. It's not like this thing's about to look just, oh my gosh, it looks so good, it's super amazing. But yeah, we probably want to put the tires back on the front. And put that in there. Going down. Dang, that dropped that down pretty good. I can barely get a fingertip between there. Don't worry, with our golf cart tires, I can still get a fist up here. How's she look? Well, she looks like we need to crank them torsion bars and then we'd have a little hot rod Toyota. Looks like a grandpa got confused and liked the damn trailer wheels in a toolbox, but thought, hell, I'll hot rod it too. I don't know why I'm laughing. Shit, I'd drive it. Pull our cinder out, got us a new one. This one looks like they had sealed it with some Hucky Puck. This one has a O-ring. We'll try our luck. I don't know about that. That don't feel good. She's all right. You better watch out. Oh, shoot. You better watch out too, because I got some new plug wires for it that aren't built like silly string. Oh, that's what that is, huh? I see. Oh, there's supposed to be another one. Someone probably threw that out. Not sure who would have done something like that. You get two options for your coil wire. Got a nice little clip for it even. Good job, Toyota. With all this done on our hot rod Toyota, there's just a few things left to do. was a burnout. Did someone order a little shredded tire? Yeah, I had to cheat. I had to hook it up to the tow roller. I had a hard time getting going because the way that thing's tied up. Oh my goodness. I told y'all that was a rusted bumper. Y'all didn't believe me. Buckled that bad boy. Good thing you weren't towing your little jet ski trailer with that. Well, that was pulling down on that, so it was really hooking and really shredding tire right off this thing. She's pretty smooth now. We'll take that as a victory. Did we quiet down our chatter to the point of just our little exhaust leak now? She almost sounds better. I don't know. She's running good. Temp gauge is working, guys. She ain't hot, so don't worry. She's just a little old Toyota hot rod mo Shane. All right, guys. With all that, there's a couple things I know we're gonna need, but I want to take it down and back here, see how much rougher it rides. And the answer is quite a bit. It's also very hard to control, as you can see in my steering wheel. That's because those spindles may have had their own little arms to hook up, but as I went to back out, I felt our tires are like this, so our front tires are definitely fighting each other. Let's see if we can even spin around. Oh, we're drifting. And then the next thing I noticed is I actually tried to do a burnout again for the thumbnail. I can't get it to do it. Our clutch is just slipping like crazy. I mean, I'm sure it's hot, but I'm pretty sure our clutch is smoked. So here at Puddins Fab Shop, we have successfully taken a pretty decent running truck, and by the end of this video, as we're getting done with it, it can hardly run and drive to save its life. Look at that. Just steer wherever you want. You won't even turn. No big deal, baby. Just how we want it. Uncontrollable. Did I get it next to the Ranchera or not? We'll take that as a win. That's actually a built-in parking brake. See how I have it in neutral and it don't roll away? Very select models can do that. See how this tire's facing out? See how this tire's facing out? Yeah, that's a problem. However, that's a problem for another day. For this go around, I think we're gonna call her a wrap. Guys, you mess with suspension stuff, you need alignment. If it wasn't for that, it'd be doing okay. Now that clutch I'm not too impressed with. What about you, Theodore? We're gonna have to put a clutch in her. That's all right, we can knock her out. Look at all the damn abuse I give the tow roller, and it just takes it and asks for more. Get that Toyota, one smoky burnout hooked to the tow roller, and it gives up on me. It's just a matter of time. That thing must have been on its way out, Theodore. Oh, stretch them legs. Stretch them legs. All in all though, guys, that thing is running a lot better. I'm still unsure of the tickish sounding noises we're getting. I already told you my plan for the exhaust leak. Got parts coming to fix that. And I still think we did it some good. You can see a lot of the stuff that we have removed from this thing this go around. And when it does run, or when it's running, she's pretty ticked. I think no matter what, I'm happy with what we got right now as a good platform to move forward with the body swap of the Stout. So that's kind of the next steps. I need to get someone to hold a tape measure for me, and we're gonna start measuring some wheelbase on the little red Express right here. And then if you don't know what a Toyota Stout is, this right here is a Toyota Stout. The front's got a pretty good look to it. Then the bed, they tried to use primer and blah blah blah. I think we can work our magic on this thing and make it look good again. Those things have a really cool look, and I promise y'all that thing's gonna be bitching by the time we get done with it. So thank you guys for being here, watching the platform of a future build get going. It's a crucial part to it. We had to know what we have, and what we have is something decent enough to work with. If the motor's clacking, blows, we'll have to find another one eventually. I think we keep doing smoky burnouts. We'll break that motor in all the way and it'll just hush up over time. PUDDINSFabShop.com for all the good quality merchandise. Do not forget, we appreciate all the support there. That really helps make all these builds and crazy shenanigans we get into possible. So thank you guys. Thanks for just being here watching and supporting. Share, comment, like, all that stuff, guys. Make sure you're subscribed. People get unsubscribed weekly from me. I don't know how, but just be sure to do all that stuff. It's a great way to support the channel. I'm on the Instagrammer, I'm on the Facebooker, I'm on the Patreon. We've got channel memberships available, all also great ways of supporting. And much other than that, I will see you guys next time. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project. I'll see y'all in the next one.